And the action continues here on the NECC. My name is Grant CFO, and joining me in the booth for the second time around, it is the Hypecast duo returning yet again to your screens. It's the lovely, just amazingly descriptive, and just a great caster overall. Novanta, how are you doing this time around, my guy?
You're just laying it on thick, man. Do I owe you money? But either way, we have ourselves a fantastic clash here. UBC Gold against Boulder in a best of five series. And even though these two teams have very different records, I think we're going to have ourselves a head to head battle for the ages.
I certainly think so and hope so as well. These are two teams that have been established here in the NECC for a while, or at least it feels like it, because even if you haven't seen these two teams before, you just recognize the names more than likely. The University of Colorado Boulder, or CU Boulder for short, they have been around for a little while and really making a name for themselves, although their record this season hasn't really reflected what they were last time I saw them. We haven't seen them on stream yet, so I'm looking forward to their first appearance here, but you talk about University of British Columbia. They've had some good showings on stream. They are 4-0 in their season, starting off with a bye, but getting a couple sweeps along the way. The most recent one last week with Montana, and this is one that I'm really looking forward to seeing. And I've got UBC going over top.
Well, yeah, you talk about momentum, right? Having the first week bye was something that could have put a lot of teams off kilter, but having a squad come together and go unbeaten so far into the season says a lot about their resolve. And so I'm excited to see if they can maintain their streak here. But deep down inside, I would love to see it upset too. So I can go either way tonight.
I would love to see an upset as well. We kind of saw a minor upset, at least if you're just looking at records alone, with Alabama going over the top in the last series against East Carolina. But we are going to find out just how the cookie crumbles and how this one turns out, because we are underway in game one. Already UBC taking an early shot on the net of Boulder.
Well, you got yourself the early shot because there's always going to be a something out period, so why not bypass that and get things on frames with stunning your opponent and give yourself an early goal. Didn't work out for them, but I like the result. Maybe it does. What a shot there, Harry Lakers.
You say it doesn't work out, but hey, the early pressure is part of the feeling out process. This one just winds back up in the hands of the incoming offense, and you got to really watch where you're placing your clears, because otherwise things like this are going to happen much more often. It's 1-0 in favor of UBC.
Thing is, now I always say this every time we cast together, granted a one goal advantage isn't much of an advantage at all. So if you're our UVC, you want to make sure you have a second goal to your tally. Get yourself some distance between you and your opponent. And if you're a Boulder, you know what? You want to make sure you go back to a tie game situation. Only 30 seconds have elapsed here. It's not so early that you have to say all is lost. You have a lot more time to get yourself on the board.
Not just distance put between you and your opponent, but really trying to build up an insurance policy. They're only up one goal, and they would love to pick up that second. Moving their way out of defense, they come across UBC, looking to press onwards. Spark shutting that down for now. Frodo tries their hand at it. 2 up for the defense. Got to be careful here. Frodo threw one right into Trix, and that's an easy clear away. Thumper moving down the length of the field and got shut down by the defense yet again. Trix around the corner, putting one across was Frodo. UBC trying to find a way to break through, although now they're going to have to retreat a little awkwardly. Harry stalls the touch for now, but Trix has control, avoids the demo. Out to the side now, and Thumper got to retreat and regroup, because here comes UBC.
Well, UBC has been pretty strong on the back of Frodo. Frodo scores his bot. As soon as I want to say how good Frodo was on shooting things on frame, there's one that goes past the net here. Frodo with a bomb beating not one, but two defenders. Even though Trish got a hand on it, it was on frame. The scoreline is now double, 2-0.
UBC is a team that you really expect to be quick out of the gates in their last showing here on stream. A lot of the time, they really thrived under a 1v1 pressure situation. So the more of those they line up and the more defenders that they take out to put themselves in that situation, then I think we're going to see a lot more benefits. But so far, it has been some solo efforts, not necessarily team play, or maybe a little bit of assisting going on, but only one assist coming off the back of Ski as they pass across the Harry Lakers, finding Frodo in the midfield, but connection not winding up successful. Trying to regroup the offense of CU Boulder, keeping the possession game close for British Columbia. Ski over and above them. Frodo sending it right back out to the person that sent it there before. Looking for a flick now. Dangerous, but they just haven't been able to find their flicks, and I was really talking about the 1v1 play benefiting them, but that is the second time I've seen a failed Ski flick and not being the power that they need.
Well, as you've seen, that Ski is not so much the most accurate shooter here, but that's okay. That happens to run the play. When you have so much service from your teammates, they have confidence in you, and even though you haven't been able to execute, it just says, hey, look, keep on doing what you're doing. But if it becomes a problem, that might be their undoing here. So if I was Ski, I would say, hey, you know what? How about give myself an option to pass it back to another member of my team to give myself even more space if I get that ball back.
Well, we've also talked about Ski before having a lot of creativity when it comes to the play and comes to playing on the pitch. So let's see if they can get some of that back under their belt, but so far it just hasn't looked to be their day. Failed flicks, missed opportunities, missed shots, hitting the crossbar. They're looking for something. They've really been that nail that holds together this team. They just aren't finding enough of what they're looking for. At least they've got some things to work off of, though, with a 2-goal lead, but I'm not sure how long that would last if Boulder are to pick things up here shortly. Thumper from the left wall, starting to build that offense early. Harry Lakers from the wall, missing. Tricks with the shot off the backboard. Ski is there, disconnected for a minute, possibly. It's definitely a disconnect on the defense as Harry Lakers steering it away, but Tricks still building. Backboard it goes, and Harry makes a touch that's essential to keeping the offense at bay.
I'm always a purist when it comes to these situations. You know how hard it is to get past the defense. You have a 2-goal advantage in the case of UBC. It's okay to run the clock. It's okay to use the walls to get some precious seconds there, because the quicker you play, the more mistakes you make, you give yourselves an opportunity to be scored upon. You don't want that if you have the lead in hand.
Especially when you're overcommitting your resources as well. We talked about Ski's creativity for a brief moment, and we saw a glimpse of it there as they leapt off the backboard trying to send it down, just not able to let their teammate have enough time to turn things around. But what the heck is Harry Lakers doing? I have no idea. Certainly would have been a goal for the ages, but Ski now in retreat, picking up the boost and winding up with the ammunition they need to take on this next shot. Looking for a pinch or connection at least with Frodo, and was not able to find it. Thumper shutting this one down, at least getting in the way. Tricks throwing it up the Thumper. Spark on the other end had 2 to beat, just not going to match the speed of Harry Lakers as they press onward and through. Tricks on the defense.
Well, again, that was just almost inches of being the third goal just a couple of seconds ago, and that was another shot on attempt that could have been the third goal there for UBC. I guess if you want to be a more aggressive play, the push shots are framed, go ahead, even though it's not my way of doing it. But hey, if it works out for you, why not? Ski with the score.
You give Ski enough opportunities, and eventually they're going to come through with a finish. The defense caught out in the corner, and Spark just not able to react. He wasn't able to see exactly where Ski was on the field, and that's going to result in that third goal that will be the dagger for this first game, putting UBC in favor of winning the series, but still plenty of game left to go. I think the struggle has really been with Boulder and failing to match pace. It's been the same story as the last series. They're trying, and they know how quick they have to get to the ball, but failing to make contact is not going to get you the game win in the end. UBC going over top in the first game.
We saw Ski struggle with those scoring opportunities in the early of the game. I say if you have the confidence from your team to get that service, you're not able to execute, pass it back, take a breather, get yourself in a more advantageous position. Ski did that, and Ski was able to put the dagger in game 1. UBC Go have 1 game to the series tally.
And UBC are also going to be potentially looking at a server reset. That might explain some of the problems that we were seeing with Ski not being able to finish. They seemed a little all over the place. I didn't check ping or any connections during the actual series itself, but we did recognize that Ski was not playing their best game. They seemed a little bit off in their stride and not being able to help out their team in the ways that they would. So I guess with this server reset, we can hope that it is going to give them just enough of what they need in order to succeed and feel that team chemistry again. And at that point, it would just be domination, because even with those minor setbacks, UBC were able to go over top.
I think it's fair to request for server reset. It's within the NEC bylaws, and frankly, being in the booth as a caster, I had some packet loss as well. So I think it's a fair assessment to go ahead and do that. You know, sometimes we say we're a slave to technology, and it's unfortunate that was the case, but the record still stands. So you got to understand it's a game 2 situation. In the case of UBC, you have that 1 game in hand. What do you do to adjust? And if you're Boulder, what do you do to adjust? It's a question for both teams at this point as we head to that second server, the second server of the series.
It's interesting that you were getting packet loss as well. It must just be a West Coast thing, because all these players playing on the
Hey,
West Side, but somehow over on the East Coast, I'm just fine. I'm just chilling here,
rub it
casting
in,
some
Grant.
good
Go
Rocket
ahead.
League. Yeah, just a little bit of banter, of course, Novanta. You know I love you, but we got a game to cast. We got to throw out all the hypotheticals here. Maybe it is just a West Coast thing. I don't know. No disadvantages, of course, not at all serious, but I think we are getting another reset or I think we've joined the exact same lobby. So this isn't just another thing that happens with Rocket League. It can't cancel out the last lobby until everybody leaves and you give it a moment to breathe. So that's really what we're doing here. We're just taking a breather, catching our breath, letting the players catch their breath as well. CU Boulder really needing a reset as they go into this, and we hope that the server reset is exactly what aids in that.
Yeah, also you kind of worry or wonder about what that means for the team with the game in hand. And in this case, UBC Gold, you win the first game, you're one more game closer to winning the series. But now we have a situation where there's a downtime, a down period. You wonder if that will affect chemistry. You wonder if that would affect shooting accuracy. In football, we call it icing the kicker. And will it apply here? Only time will tell.
I really like that phrase, icing the blank, just whatever it is. I mean, it really does apply here in this game because, I mean, it goes just beyond sports and it goes into the realm of esports when you're just ready to play another game and you know what you need to do to straighten up. Now you start to get in your own head. You have a lot more time to think about what you're doing. And that's where things become a little bit dangerous because when you get in your own head, things are not going to go your way. You're overthinking. You're like, okay, I got to do this, but you just don't do it because you're like thinking of all the small details and you're forgetting just how to play the game normally. So it's a lot of those things. And in football, especially icing the kicker, I mean, you might hit it with your toe instead of the inside of your foot. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm always inside my head, so I totally get that, man. You're speaking to me, but it looks like the teams are getting back ready here. We have a server reset, and well, like I said, UBC Gold has that one game in hand, as best of 5 series. They're just that much closer to the victory, but I'm sure Boulder has other things on their mind to stop that momentum. Game 2 starts right now. Grant, take it away.
I would love to take it away. Game 2, fresh clock of Rocket League, 5 minutes specifically. Y'all know how it works. Tricks looking to make some work of the offense. Just unable to get that spark, but here is that player in their own right. Thumper having to steer around. A lot of early misses from Boulder. That's not going to favor them in the end, but Trix' beat here could start something. Thumper on the other end looking to receive, but Harry Lakers now leaving the back pass for Ski, firing a shot on crossbar. Connects right under the defense immediately. The rebound impeccable.
Well, Ski is acting like a fourth player there. It was up top of the key. I thought Ski left the play, but then getting its own change, its own receipt. That shows resolve. Here's a 1-0 scoreline for you. What a fantastic individual effort there from Ski.
Ski will absolutely take those free refunds anytime they can get them. Now looking to sample up something else. Harry Lakers not able to get it because Spark is there. Now driving their way to the sky, looking for the ceiling off of Thumper here to the midfield, and it's way out over their heads. Frodo almost picking up on the counterattack and scoring and securing a second for University of British Columbia.
Well, there you go. It's still a 1-0 scoreline, but I'm seeing a different kind of energy from UBC. I feel like a lot of them are pretty much in sync. I wonder if that's going to translate to the scoreline. And wow, what a shot there and saved by Spark. And it's going the other way now. He's a little bit of a tip difference. Not enough. No. And now we have a tie score.
That was enough. I was not expecting Ski to not be able to get that one, but you look at that recovery down low, spinning out. That's not going to allow them to get what they need, and they end up just throwing it into their own net, but I think it was in either way. Maybe it wasn't. It didn't look too convincing of an own goal, so they will run with it for now. Tie game, and it's the first goal of Boulder's series, and it all comes to an end just like that. Ski really stepping up.
Harris putting her foot down. That was both foot and the palm. Look at that. Just Thumper, no thank you. Bottom 92-1. And just like that, man, that deadlock has gone. Favoring once again UBC.
UBC always proving themselves to be something special. Want to improve on this series record that they've got. 4-0 currently, looking to make it 5-0. Harry Lakers taking it down. Got stopped for a moment. Frodo needing to clean it up. Still has another touch, firing on net off the post and out. Ski wrapping around the backside, beating out a couple. Spark has possession, listening for something and has to take it alone, getting demoed for their efforts on the back end. Frodo needs to get this over. They were not able to get it in position. Ski with another touch around. Harry Lakers over the top. That's backboard. Someone's already up for it. Spark beat him there just barely. Thank goodness they had that touch. Otherwise, that could have been unfavorable for the defense.
Yeah, unfavorable to say the least. It was an awkward ball to clear away, and well, that could have been bad for either exchange here. But look, we're seeing a lot more aggressive, and that happens a lot in even number games in best of 5 or best of 7 series. Both teams want to be able to change the tide, change the conversation. Wow, that could be a shot on frame of the narrative, and we're seeing a lot more aggression on both sides. sides.
Tricks with the double tap and an even more incredible save from Ski. I have no idea how that one was able to be stopped, but Tricks has gotta be a little furious from that one. Spark taking it from their corner, needing a flick over, not gonna find it. Ski by themselves, trying to set up the offense, regrouping now. Ski in the back, send it over. That might hit ceiling. It does. Spark to the side again. Harry already there, positioned, ready for it. Shot over, almost found its way to the net. Thank goodness the crossbar came in as a clutch defender. The pressure's still not over yet. Tricks clearing to the side and steering away the danger, but maybe not for long.
What an absolute screamer by Harry Lakers. It was just a few centimeters off the trajectory, but that's enough to scare any defense to say, look, we can't give a team that much space or put ourselves in a blunt end of a firing squad because you know the Legends will break. 2-1 is the scoreline, but the way it's going now, UBC is out for blood, and it shows right now with so many shots on frame.
Oh, they are going to continue this as long as they can get it. Harry over the top, way too high. Tricks needing to build something here. Boulder have been in their half for so long. They've been starved of every drop of boost that they have, but this clear towards net is exactly what they want to look for, but just somehow need to take out UBC's offense and their defense as well. Get a demo, open up some additional space, maybe not clear towards their net every single time on defense. Look for each other instead. Find unique ways to really set back the defense. Stronger the clear, the more space you're going to have to work with when you get that counterattack transition going.
I'm with you, Grant. I'm all about that, but the kind of mistake you don't want to get into, we see that even lower levels of play, not to say these guys are lower, or these cars, excuse me, are lower levels, is that you don't want to get into that whole booming clear trap. You know, you're under pressure, you want to get it away, so you want to swat it away as hard as you can. But when you do that, you open up so much space to your opponent to try something new or clever to get past you. So is it being to your detriment? When you have a ball, you're being on the other end of so many shot attempts, it's better to trap it and find a shooting lane away from you that's closer than trying to be a superhero and just launching it on the other side of the pitch.
Well, here we go. CU Boulder finally finding a gap that they can work with. Looking to move through the line now. Spark up to Harry Lakers, and it's just a monstrous clear that no one can get their hands on. It's an exact mimic of the way that Boulder was able to get out of their half just a moment ago. Floating uncontested up in the air. Spark and Tricks both jump for it. Ski catching low. Got dunked over to the other side now. Thumper looking to jump off the wall. Frodo cleared underneath, and it's back to UBC offense all day long. Frodo had a shot, and it was shut down at the goal line, but still a one-goal game. This is what Boulder need, but they can't miss like that. Thumper not going to be able to get out of their own half here because it's Ski to midfield for Frodo. Blocked again. The ball needing to stay alive, and it just cannot. UBC with another win under their belt.
Like an old man sitting in front of my lawn where I say, look, you have the lead. It's 10 seconds. Just put the ball down. Why are you going for the shot? But you know what? Why not? If you're feeling yourself, why stop your own momentum? UBC Gold is on series point.
That was an incredible series, and again, the same exact pressure being applied to the defense of CU Boulder. How many shots? 9 of them against 3. How many saves? 6. That just proves the number of time that Boulder is spending on their defense. They have to get out. They need to look for that empty space all the time. But again, you're talking about the boom and clear trap that they've really found themselves waiting in. They have to find other ways to clear it. Keep it close. You can probably keep that ball close to you for much longer. Maybe play out a 50 to your corner. Don't necessarily look for the 50 in general because you really have to place it somewhere else. When they're coming in from that corner, you might want to look at pushing it right back out there, at least buying yourself some time and your teammates some time to get some boost, which also in turn with these 50s is going to prevent the offense from being able to swerve in and steal it from you in the first place.
Yeah, that's the counter. If you have yourself in situations, you go wide, up the walls, use a quarter to your advantage and make sure to draw out the defense. Let's see if Boulder has that idea that we have here in the booth here to get to game 3.
Game 3 certainly underway, needing to make something happen. CU Boulder needing to start off early if they can. Spark with a shot downfield. Ski finding it in the corner. Missed there. Nobody contesting though. Finally a defender to come back around. And the offense pushing once again. Ski Long bomb clear, and this is exactly what's been favoring UBC, are these booming clears. They've controlled the pace, and that's exactly why they can boom and clear. They also have the higher quality on those clears, but there's those 50s that we're talking about. They will favor anybody that is able to push them into their advantage, and that's going to be UBC first.
So here's a shot here that was made by Harry Legals, but bumped away, and Frodo was pretty much unmarked and unchecked. And when you give an opponent that much space to decide where to place a shot, they're going to go for the 90 to make you stretch as far as possible. But you know what? It was kind of a moot point because there was no one there, and effectively 1-0 the scoreline.
Well, 4:20 to go. Spark clearing it up their own wall. Ski coming out. Touchdown by Thumper. Demo clearing up the space. Thumper needing to score this. Running out of boost and resources. They gotta pick and choose those attacks. They can't just go for whatever winds up in their hands. Ski didn't find much. Spark, that's a beautiful shot that's gonna catch the defense grounded.
Defense grounded and off guard here. There's kind of a shot out of UBC's playbook off the wall. Spark had a lot of room, shots it up top. You know what I'm talking about? It really comes down to placement here, because if that ball was lower, it would have been knocked away.
Certainly would have been, but this is the first tied game we've seen in a little while, especially for Boulder. Again, not being able to reach their ball there. Spark, it was a good attempt. Just not enough sauce on it, not enough speed to beat out the defense. Frodo just slipping by, finds Tricks on the back end. Over the top now, looking for the crack back on this counter attack. Harry Lakers midfield again. There's Thumper, finally meeting it. Do they have the boost? They certainly do, but they can't find the angle. Instead, it's out to the side where Tricks has to recover, and they just will not find it. Harry getting shut down. Tricks finding themselves in the corner yet again. To Thumper, can't connect, and that's going to be a squandered opportunity where the defense recovers and finally cleans up.
Both teams are putting on a show, but we got a tandem offense here. Look, things are breaking down. I usually say that even number games are aggressive, but I think both teams have turned up the pressure here, because I understand if you're Boulder, you want to be able to get one on the board, and if you're UBC, you want to go home early and probably celebrate the day with some nice healthy salads or some milkshakes, right?
Certainly, I was just thinking about milkshakes earlier, honestly. Might have to go out and get one of those, but maybe we will see something special, maybe a little cherry on top to this series for ourselves. Frodo going underneath Spark. Thumper, this has been the most sustained offense that we have seen from CU Boulder tonight, and it comes at a very much needed time. Spark clearing across, being met by Frodo. High quality mechanics and high quality assurance that defense is going to be working. Harry Lakers all the way in the back, throwing one up, finding Ski, who's just quicker to it. They know that the defense isn't going to be able to contest, but that backboard clear coming in clutch from the defense. Tricks got blocked and stuffed by Harry Lakers. Ski got it by one. Spark clearing just towards the net. Could have had a pass connection on the right side. Now that connection comes through for Tricks. Unable to find it. Still fighting for possession in the corner. Harry trying to stall. That 50 not going to work. Ski was able to clear it. They were so close. They were waiting there. And this is CU Boulder's first lead.
Yeah, for the last, minute, it really felt the momentum had shifted. You had Boulder just coming from all different angles, and, well, UBC was good of getting those balls away. I mean, even a savior medal in the case of Harry Lakers, the levy will break after a while. When you have yourself under attack, you got to make sure you don't give the ball right back. That's exactly what UBC did.
Oh, but it's gonna be Boulder this time giving the ball right back. A very simple mistake. Spark on those early road chasers tried to position Harry, missing out on the mechanical misplay, and that's gonna cost them a lot as it is now tied. Boulder have been struggling to find a lead or even a tied game situation, somewhere where they can at least feel benefited for a while, and it just lasts too short. Harry off the backboard, easy clears for them. And this just looks like it could be another game in the clutches of UBC, who have been in control even when we didn't think so.
Well, I mean, that last goal definitely was a mechanical error, but to be fair, Harry Lakers was coming from so many different angles. You got caught car watching, almost like a snake charmer dance. You was like, well, where do I go? And you might be stuck frozen. So a lot of it is a mental game. And yes, even though for the last minute or so I was going to give Boulder the advantage, when it comes to the mental game of Rocket League, it's been all UBC.
Well, Harry Lakers looking to continue on the portfolio that UBC have built up on themselves. 4-0, and an outstanding resume to present with it. Still hunting for a third goal that will push them over in the series. I'm confident that if they can find one more, they will take this series in another 3-0. Our second of the night. It's just a matter of building themselves back up again It seems like many have gone unanswered, but really they do have the momentum in their game after that tying goal. Shortly after, Boulder put up one of their own. Frodo looking to seal it here, but a big demo from Spark clears the option. No 50 successful there, but it does look good for a moment.
It looks good for a moment there. I almost looked they had a second option to put that ball past the net, but it looks like Boulder's making everyone wait and sweat a bit, just taking their time getting that ball out of their third of the pitch. And I wonder if that's the smartest move, but you're right. 30 seconds to go, Grant. The next goal pretty much may seem to be the one to win it all. Silver goal situation if you don't go to overtime.
Certainly going to be a tough one to overcome in overtime, but maybe perhaps one that will favor Boulder. Looking for the cut in here. Thumper didn't have enough clearance to get by. Ski still locking down the seam. Now they've got their own opportunity. Not sure where the defense went, but a flick off the backboard could favor them. Good job going for it, but Tricks, better job defending it. Frodo with one last opportunity. Thrown up to the sky where Ski is waiting. Heavens still suspended. Frodo touches down and OT is here.
There was one angle that there was no car present, and that's the one the ball went. But we have ourselves a golden goal situation here. The next one to score a goal will win this one.
Oh, goodness. It's tighter than ever. Tricks almost picking up the doink that had everybody caught off guard. That was certainly the opportunity to secure the golden goal and prolong the series for CU Boulder.
Yeah, that was a one that would have been easy. You would have been able to call yourself a hero, but now I wonder if that'll be a moment that Boulder will come to regret, because that ball was cleared away with this aplomb from AUBC.
30 seconds in, and the endurance could be fading as Frodo looks for one final fatal shot and just wasn't able to get there. Tricks on the other end, though, has a free runaway goal. Will celebrate on their way there, and the series goes on longer.
There was one shot that was an inch off, there was one collection that was an inch off, and there was one blow by that was accurate. Tricks gets the game winner. Boulder gets one, and now UBC has a little bit of shock into their system. Can they hold on? Can they win this series, or is their undefeated streak in jeopardy?
I don't know the answer to that question, but that was a robbery for CU Boulder. If they are able to find another one like that, we've got game 5 on our hands, and that is certainly something that I would definitely look forward to. But now we got to think, what the heck happened to UBC there? Only 4 shots to a combined 11 from CU Boulder. That was CU Boulder revitalized, finally finding their step and their stride to come back with some offense that has otherwise been lacking in the series, and it certainly looks good for them. Let's just hope that they can keep it up.
Yeah, a lot of times when teams have a 2-goal advantage in a 5-game series set, they come to this mental state to put it away or clamp down or foot on the neck. And a lot of times your defense suffers from that because you want to be able to put shots past the net. If you go back to work with game 1 and 2, it's quick work for UBC. But Boulder, you have a team with the advantage that's reeling. Here's a chance to really play spoiler and give them their first defeat of the season.
Thumper already on an early carry. CU Boulder wanting to pick up this offense as quickly as possible. Throw some early shots on, pepper the net, and make sure that there is pressure to be suffered at the very beginning. Thumper again trying and unsuccessful. Frodo just a touch stronger. Spark needing to leap for that one. Clearing to the side. Harry getting blocked. Thumper racing to it in the air, throwing one across. Ski jumped for it. Tricks underneath, couldn't make it. Thumper still good coverage and good placement, looking to get around. They did so. Frodo, big redirect. That's a huge clear that throws Tricks in an awkward spot. Harry over the top. Spark, good meeting the ball there. Frodo, not the best. Spark still with some remaining boost, and that's another follow-up by Thumper. That's off the crossbar, and that one's gotta hurt for Boulder.
Unfortunately, I was in Thumper's solo carry. I thought that was pretty much at the right. It goes the other way. Grant, what is happening here?
I'm not sure, but the crossbar certainly being paid off to be a defender for both sides. It's not just a curse that affects one, but one that affects many. Tricks and Thumper battling for possession. Spark needing to get their Tricks instead. Frodo, one more shot thrown out, and finally having some breathing room, lots of space. Thumper knows that one needs to be met immediately. Ski with a shot. Tricks catching on the back end. Frodo up one more time, 2 up to the defense. Thumper with enough boost to meet that one, but won't have any to recollect in the end. Tricks jumping on the back end for that again. Frodo to the side, looking for the self pass, can't get it, and Tricks letting that one be led astray to the side. Spark 50 through. Frodo looking for the clear, and this one will remain on UBC's side.
About a minute and a half elapsed. We haven't got our first score of the game. But this shot on frame could have been, but Ski has to stretch all the way to make that a possibility. Look, Brent, this one here is breaking down all the best ways. Both teams understand what's at stake here. Both teams understand that you want to play spoiler or maintain their winning streak. And what's happening now is the gloves have come off, and we're seeing a battle happening on both sides of the pitch.
This certainly is a battle, and it has also turned into a bit of a track meet with the pace that we're seeing. Tricks, crucial save needing to be made, and a better clear from Spark that sends it way down the length of the pitch. Ski trying to meet there, beat out Tricks. Harry in the midfield, it's a tough read. They got it down, dropped to Frodo, backs off instead. Thumper trying their hand at it now with a big home run, looking for the finish. Instead, it's found to the side. Frodo, one more. Tricks over the top, finding it, but there's the block from the defense that just isn't enough because Thumper puts on just enough for 1-0.
Well, that rally here was one of the most nerve-wracking ones I saw back and forth at halftime. And to be honest with you, not one goal score, but Thumper gets a little bit of that trash, cleans it up, and Boulder has the lead.
Half the game gone, and everybody wanting to catch a breath. But this one has been the fastest paced game that we've seen in the series. Pass connection from CU Boulder. Off the backboard again, Ski clearing, finding Frodo. Not enough positioning, not enough spacing to be able to connect with that one. You see UBC struggling to find these connections, and it's been such a long while since we've seen that, but it is CU Boulder finally deciding that, yeah, we're going to get up in their face and see how they react. And so far, CU Boulder has been able to overturn some of the pace in their favor, now leading this game 4, I believe. Frodo sending it out to Harry Lakers, who wants a touch, looking for a double. Waterfall down, Frodo's there, and Spark couldn't wrap quickly enough for it.
Looked like it was going to be a clear there by Spark, or it was kind of overdriven. It was just stuck itself in the net, and Frodo just clamped down. Goomba stomped the ball. Why not, man? We're tied once more.
This is where things get a little nerve-wracking. You felt that you could have been there for it, and you absolutely could have, but it's not enough time to dwell on it because there is no time for thinking about the past in such a fast-paced series like this one that we have unfolding before us between University of British Columbia and CU Boulder. Series score, of course, being 2-1 in favor of the undefeated UBC Gold. Harry looking to add a little extra touch on that resume and just cannot for now. CU Boulder have been able to match the pace. Let's just see how long it lasts because Harry Lakers there. Ski needing to make up the save from Spark, and Frodo slides one in behind 2, and it is 2-1.
Never saw a ball that clever. Bringing it down, Ski could have did a backflip, but I would have been stopped away, but it was just on a platter for Frodo going the opposite direction. That right there was a technical hit. 2-1 in favor of UBC.
1:14 on the clock and 1 goal between these two. UBC finding their first lead in about 6 minutes of gameplay. Of course, the last game ending after regulation in overtime, with Boulder coming out on top in the golden goal situation 41 seconds in, and now finding ourselves almost with that amount remaining in regulation of game 4. Ski looking for something huge here, can't find it on the down pass either. Spark throwing long, that's just throwing possession away to Frodo, who doesn't have the resources to work off. Nobody knows it. Ski, the only one to know it though, for the offense, and it's a 2-goal separation.
You don't understand, this team understands they understand their winning streak was in jeopardy, but Ski comes out of nowhere to bring it down. And like you said, not all goals are created equal, but Ski was the one that comes from the heavens, 3-1's the scoreline.
An even kickoff, sliding its way in favor of UBC. Spark meeting that 50 where it lies, now playing the ball where it lies off the corner. That's a difficult read off the ceiling. Harry Lakers gonna be there first, firing a shot, crossbar down. Spark carrying to the side. Harry stopping it, but just got dunked, and it's right back into UBC's territory. We haven't seen a lot of this in the series, but CU Boulder have certainly turned things around. Tricks launching to the left side, finding Ski instead. Frodo with a demo. That's 1 remaining on the defense. Just wasn't able to lift it up fast enough. Thumper racing down the field, needing more goals for Boulder, and that clear is going to seal it for UBC. Going over top of the series, 3-1, and no consolation prize for the second place finishers of CU Boulder.
Yeah, you know what? The winning streak rolls on. Thumper being able to make things interesting for Boulder, but ultimately UBC Gold maintains their unbeaten streak late into the season there, Grant. What a fantastic display of a comprehensive performance.
I love the score line too, and just how it flip flopped. In the last one, we saw 11 shots, I believe, put up by CU Boulder, and this time it is 12, just about the same, ripped off by University of British Columbia. So it really was a testament to what this game was. It was all about offensive production. These teams spent just about the same amount of time on defense, racking up 5 saves each, and it was just who could put on more shots. The defenses were even, but when it came down to it, the perfect hitter was the one to prevail.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. You know, the perfect hitters are great, but having team mentality, trusting your teammates, really what win the day. Ski started off pretty shaky. We're worried about Ski's shooting prowess, but by the end of it, it was Ski with the dagger for that squad. And well, congratulations all around.
Ski just might be our player of the game, but we'll have to figure out next week who does come out on top. But we got one more series after this one. If I am not mistaken, there will be that 11 p.m. matchup coming up soon. You don't want to go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss it because it's more NECC after this break.
the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on...
Good evening, NECC. I hope you're still awake. I hope you're nice and cozy, but not too cozy. I hope you're hyped, but not too hyped to fall asleep after it's
Hype.
over. Yeah, I'm Staged, and I'm here with Foof as we're going to bring you the last matchup of the night. We have the Battle of California State University. That's right, Dominguez Hills versus Fresno State here in the Emergence Cyan Division. Foof,
Yes.
tell me what's at stake here.
Well, you know, I was prepping all day, Staged. You sent me a message earlier on, and I was looking forward to this matchup because they had an interesting record with 0 wins combined behind the two teams. And I was like, oh, I got so many things ready. And then we come in, and Fresno State's done the unthinkable. They've got a win on the board, Staged. And so now that means they are in a hotter spot to try and pull off what could be a Cinderella-esque run to the playoffs, where both of these teams still not in the best spot, but technically have a chance for playoffs on the outside looking in.
It's not the best place to be overall, but when you do start making these late season runs, you do kind of get this opportunity of being a
Can happen.
wild card. Because, you know, if you had a losing start to the season, you start getting discounted by the playoff teams. You start thinking that these aren't the guys we got to worry about. And then suddenly you've got this whole story coming up where the teams that you thought you had to deal with aren't there anymore. The teams that you beat earlier are suddenly taking down your rivals. Let me put this to you in a pretty clear way. Fresno State Maroon, to be right on the bubble where they are, brought down a previously undefeated team. That's insane.
I mean, that's the best way you can put it, is it's insane, but obviously this is why you have divisions like this where the games can be so competitive, and really it's just a couple small mistakes anywhere. Anyone can win at any time. And so that is why having this be an 8-week race and this being week 6, it has become crunch time stage. These teams, these players, these coaches know it is just wide open for anyone to try and sneak in. And if once you're in, you have a chance at the big dance.
Exactly. You know, playoffs is a completely different story from the regular season. But I'm really happy to see this. I'm really happy to see this game take place because these are two teams that have been slept on. And I want to see that turn into an absolute shootout. Just two offensive powerhouses that are ready to make a statement to the rest of the league.
You want to see some high fireworks. I got to say, I don't disagree with you there, but I love seeing a nice defensive stalemate, you know, where teams are putting good offense on, but better defense prevails in the end. But right now, the quick kickoff coming from this Fresno State side, pushing them on, but they don't have much control. Is Minty Fresh able to get it back on top of that? Finnegan put some pressure on of their own. You have Minty Fresh, BB Mac, and Gone Beret here for Sisuda, and then Fresno State. Green and Dark, Eco, Overseas, and Junior. He's got the all-star tag for us tonight with all the asterisks.
All right, going up, though, they do manage to send Ganbear BT up through the air, trying to get this out in front of the net. Ganbear almost gets that out there, but pushed into the corner. Fresno trying to take control. Dominguez Hills continuing to keep this offense up, but now a big counterattack. Darkhead goes up, looks double, and not going to pick that one up. Stalled in front of the net, and Dominguez Hills is going to send it away up the wall, chasing that downfield. Ganbear cannot find the net, but still putting so much pressure on. Gotta rotate back. Minty Fresh sets up the opposition accidentally, but stalled out to the corner. Fresno State looking to make their statement here. Out through the corner, a little bit of a love tap on the 50-50, and not able to continue the pressure from the sidewall. This is a wide open play, not able to find the angles they need so far.
Well, neither team really, I'll be honest, finding much, I want to say just grip on the offensive side. I was a loss for words like these teams are a loss for consistent offense. I mean, this is a chance here from Gon Beret with a pass to him, but now there's no one there to back the team up. So they get 1 or 2 shots and then just kind of abandon all things and go back to their side and just rekindle. So both of these teams have done it for about 2 minutes, and the feeling out process, I think, might be starting to get to an end here.
Maybe it just comes down to some of the plays, though, that we're seeing some of the control off the back wall, able to sneak it around the continued pressure. So this time, we've got Dominguez Hills trying to make their own play, but we'll see if they can get it around the defense. It's not happening just yet. Stuffed by, and Minty Fresh not able to get that one through. Dark Echo instead turning this around, looking to dish it off the back wall, but out of boost. Junior sends it infield, no one's there. Minty Fresh once again standing tall on defense. Both of these defenses are playing so resolute, it means there's no shot opportunities for either side.
Well, not an opportunity here, but that was BB back pointed towards his own net. I don't think that's the shot he wanted. Thankfully, they were able to get that one out, and now here we are at halftime. No real control, and once again, Cardinal has an opportunity, but it's immediately denied. BB back and Minty kind of stuck at midfield. Overseas now in control. He's on that sidewall, has the boost, has the ball in the air. He wants to find something here. That Octane off the wall. Junior with a touch, but Minty able to deny that one.
Chasing this one forward, gets it infield, but Dark Echo's there to pick it up. It's just a pass to the opposition. Dark Echo with the full field carry. Looks to set that one across, but cleared away by Ganbear. Overseas not able to get a solid touch out, and Ganbear continues sending this through, but now Junior looking for a little bit of aggression, pinch over and off the backboard. Overseas has overshot out to the corner, and now Dark Echo looking to field this one, though. It is a one-on-one, 50-50 out to the sidewall, and Junior is there to pick it up. He misses off the sidewall. Dark Echo has to make the diving save to get that one back into neutral territory.
I'll say it states the crowd in the game is artificial, but if Twitch chat could make some noise, I feel like every time Overseas touches the ball, it just explodes. We got the signs and everything, but right now, Gon Beret dunked on that one. BB Mag able to push it back on. Cardinal trying to get something going here on the offensive side. Overseas now in control, has the boost, has the ball. It's a 1-on-2. He's got to pass one, but Minty Fresh standing up and making a 50 at midfield.
Spoof, you're talking about how you feel like there's not a whole lot of control in this game, and I kind of agree on the offensive end, but I think of it more right now like a game of rugby instead of a game of soccer. This is very much a physical game. It's very much a defensive clearinghouse, and they're just punting the ball away and not able to find anything downfield. So I feel like it does play a lot more like a rugby scrum than like that really loose pass and go, feeling out style of soccer.
I thought you meant passing backwards to go forward, as that's an attempt of something going on there in front of the net. But you know what? No harm, no foul, no shot technically. Wait, okay. Still, no goal here. 4.5 minutes have passed. Overseas looking for Eco. Eco, that's a shot on. That's going to be the first goal. Icebreaker coming in 4.5 minutes deep, and that's 1-0 here.
Overseas, you talked about, the crowd always going crazy whenever he touches it. And you don't have to have the goal on your own to make the crowd go wild. The assists are just as flashy as he sends it off to Dark Echo.
Well, Eco ready to get that one. Him and Overseas on the same wall. Gon Beret trying to kickstart something here with only 16 seconds left. That demo, very poignant, but it has nothing to do with the play, unfortunately, because the ball back on their side. BB Mac and Beret, a 2-on-2 out. It was a break-off, but instead of trying to find something here, the shot was taken, and I had to bite my tongue, as now that one falls down in game one, going to Fresno Maroon. I'll be honest, they're riding a little bit of a wave right now, coming off of what we believe was a recent series victory, and roll right into this one and just bide their time enough to get that 1-goal lead.
I think that this is honestly, I was hoping for a shootout. I was hoping for the offensive track meet. That's not what we got. It's much more in line with what you were saying. It's a defensive style. Defense wins championships. I'm not saying that means championships are coming here, but I am saying that maybe this is the reason why Fresno managed to take that very narrow match win against a previously undefeated team.
Well, I mean, that, and they had, 6 shots compared to the 4? So they did a good job of stopping offense from the Cardinals side, but they put enough of their own that eventually broke through, and the biggest thing that I like for them is they were able to find transition plays. Once they were able to get those going, they started to get Cardinal to lean just a little bit too far forward, and that opened the door for that 1 goal.
But even then, I don't feel like the Cardinals have really slipped up all that much. That's just a passing
Nah.
mistake. Their mental is still there. They're far from broken. These games are going to keep on continuing. They're lining up on the kickoff, and I can see them gritting their teeth right now.
Well, I gotta say, both teams really want this one bad because technically, you know, you look at yourself, what is this, 3/4 of the way through a season and you have a pretty bad season? Both of these teams still technically and mathematically in playoff contention, so this is important. If either of these teams have postseason aspirations. Now Eco dropping it down to Junior. Beret 50s that one, but the pressure is still on here from Fresno State. BB Mac in control at midfield. It's a one-on-one. He rolls it past one, but he's lost because he gets forced off of the ball overseas, able to clear this one back out to midfield.
There's that rugby scrum again. Minty Fresh breaks it out and has an opportunity for Ganbare, but just off the post. A scramble out in front of the net, and Fresno's going to knock that one clear. Overseas, sending it all the way overseas, but the pass is intercepted. A little bit of a connection, and BB Mac not getting that crossbar play from Minty Fresh. Ganbare now has to be all the way back, picking up the clear, but the pressure continues. Dominguez Hills want to find this. They want to get the equalizer game. They know that this is not a team that's going to completely put them to sleep yet.
Well, once again, both teams kind of trading offensive blows. Gonberet with a shot, but Overseas diving to make the save. Still, pressure on Overseas on this side wall. He's got control in the corner, trying to chip here. Ball rolling back out to midfield. Junior was ready on that far side, but now has to play a little bit of corner ball. Pass back midfield, but that's Minty. Doors open.
Wide
It's
open.
a long way, though. He can't get back to it in time. That Fennec just a little bit too heavy on gas consumption. That one's dangerous. Gonberet finds the shot, and it's 1-0 here for Cardinal.
What a clean pickup off that center ball. Again, the scramble off the backfield. I feel like that's the same way that we had that first goal get scored in game one. Off of the scramble, this time Dominguez Hills taking the advantage.
Well, that's a big one for them to see. They've had a hard time scoring in game one. Couldn't knock that wall down. And Stage, I'll be honest, once you get that first goal, be it a game or in a series, it kind of opens the door. As that was, I'll be honest, it was a little opportunistic for both of those players to go for that shot, but it's not turned around here. It's still a 1-0 scoreline, so, you know, no harm, no foul.
This is a wild game so far. Both these teams love the scramble. They love the scramble on the back wall. They love the scramble on offense. This is all about, you're not even making an omelet. This is just scrambled eggs all the way down.
This is FSU, Full Send University playing against... Oh my goodness. A big-time save there coming from Junior. That shot was on. Ball bouncing back in midfield. Overseas, 50'd hard there by Beret. Echo into the corner. Ball bouncing around. Precious waiting on that backboard. Using the flip well to keep it stalled, but now Beret. It's kind of a lone defender. BB Mac's bumped by his friend there. Nothing friendly about that fire, but still just living on the razor's edge and protecting that 1-goal lead.
A miss there from Dark Eco, but Junior there to pick it up. Minty Fresh getting a really solid touch out of the backfield, sending Fresno deep onto their own back foot. Game's looking pretty good for Dominguez Hills so far. They've got a long way to go as we're just barely past halftime, and 1-goal lead is hardly a lead at all in Rocket League.
Woo! That is another demo, so both of these teams trying to pick up the physicality here as they're trying to make their presence not only seen, but felt. That's a centered ball, but both players biding their time, I'd say. Eco is up, but denied by Beret once again. Overseas, back into the corner. It's in control. He didn't get the boost. I don't know if he's got 100. He doesn't. Just decides to leave and gets the clear for his troubles. BB Mac puts that on his own goal. Overseas scores.
We saw BB Mac do this earlier in game one. BB Mac just had an unfortunate touch before as he's racing back to try and defend the ball. This time, there's no one there to save it. This time, it's disaster. Dominguez Hills hanging on by a thread now in a tie game. They've got to start cleaning up their act just a little bit. Minty Fresh putting it in field. BB, unfortunately, overcommitting there. What's going on?
Okay, I'm at a loss. All right, I got this Stage. I'm at a loss for words. Like, this game is at a loss for touches. That ball should not have made it midfield. The drift overzealous. Junior caught in his own wings there. And Gonberet, very opportunistic, puts it on. And that is now a 1-goal lead back again for Dominguez Hills.
Hey, You don't have to do everything fancy all by yourself. You can rely on people just whipping the ball sometimes, or you can make the connection. You can let Minty Fresh put a line drive in the upper 90.
You know what? I'll be honest. Dominguez Hills has the Todd Howard offense. You know anything about that?
No, what's the Todd Howard
It just
offense?
works.
It just works?
It just works.
It's like Bethesda, you know, it doesn't matter how many bugs in the offense we've got. People are going to buy it. We're going to get the goals. We're going to get the money. And we're going to send it downfield for Minty Fresh to pick up one more.
He's trying to get another one there. It's Gone Beret trying to clean up there that janitorial role in the second. BB Mac oversteps a hair, but Minty Fresh doesn't have the beans to follow up that touch. Maybe he does it midfield. He's given a lot of time. Junior back on his own goal line now. Has to run on this side where there's very low boost. Eco is up trying to find the touch. That is a beautiful one. It's off the backboard, but Minty diving there to make the clear, defending a 2-goal lead in only 40 seconds on the clock.
So close to sealing the deal here for Dominguez Hills. But this is still only game 2. There's a lot of time left in the series, and this is already an absolute nail-biter. Might go all the way to game 5.
Well, I could see it going either way, but I'll be honest, right now, Fresno State only 2 shots on the scoreboard. They have to find something on offense, be it 1 or 2 shots here at the end of the game, just to get that confidence back, because they've been hemmed in almost the entire game, and Beret and company have just had their way on the offensive side and taken their shots at will.
All right, so it's winding down to the wire, though. No more goals going to be scored, even though that's sitting right in front of Fresno's net. The ball does touch down, but Dominguez Hills moving this to a 1-1. And the only way I can describe that game is the same word I've been using all game, a scramble.
Scrum. I mean, you just said
Scrum,
it beautifully in game 1. It's a scrum. I mean, it's cars and places that you don't expect them, and so opportunistic plays happen. And I'll be honest, it's about trying to find the fundamentals of Rocket League, trying to find that stable rotation, find really good touches, setting up your teammates off of the backboard or trying to get a sidewall pass. That's what you'll see these teams do as they try and get further ahead. And this time, Dominguez Hills leads the shot. They had 9 compared to, like we said, only the 2 from Fresno.
And I feel like part of it just does come off of like kind of those like panic plays on defense. Fresno never really found their footing out of defense. Last time they were getting these great clears off the back wall, but this time it's just a little bit more panicky. You're missing a couple of the crucial touches to send it downfield and to give you a shooting opportunity.
Well, I mean, you have to take most of your opportunities, and sometimes you have to get away from the dump and chase, because if you just keep sending it, they keep sending it, eventually one team's going to get out of boost, and that's what happened here to Fresno. They got hemmed in their own side, rotating well, making plays, but ran out of that crucial resource, and their defense will eventually break down because of it. And now, once again, that wall is being built at midfield to try and deny Fresno State Maroon advanced. Overseas had a chance. There was no defender up, but he couldn't find that touch.
Felt like Dominguez Hills there was just playing back the entire time, waiting for the boost, trying to make like a flying V offense. But here they go. They're going to need to regroup on defense again. BB Mac looking for a clear off the back wall, but that's right to center, blocked just in time. Overseas still looking for this one. Centers it out, cleared by Minty Fresh, but it's not out of danger yet. Ganbear sends it forward. The demo there too. This is an opportunity, but not if Overseas has anything to say about it.
Oh, Gone Beret had the way cleared for him. Now he's cleared off the map. BB Mac instead, excuse me. Junior 50s it well. Overseas at midfield. Not really favorable touch here. Is that ball? It went up and down a lot, but did not go horizontally or vertically up the field. Is now an opportunity rising for Beret. Fancy footwork in front of the net. Overseas dying to make that save. Now, Mac still in control here. Ball bouncing back to Minty Fresh. He's still giving up a lot of room here. Fresno needs to find something on offense here, and no shot coming through. Overseas trying to reset this attack.
A lot of 50-50s. It feels like Dominguez Hills just playing so patient here, but they're not getting the ball out of their own territory. They're going to let Dark Eco try and do that himself. Pops it up, keeps the flick, passes it over, but Junior getting way too much juice on that one. And now it's Dominguez Hill turned to run this downfield. Overseas centering for his opponent, cross clear, looking for his teammate in Dark Eco. Dark Eco with full boost, running it downfield all the way to the opposite corner. BB Mac looking for that pinch, comes up a little bit short on pinching it, and now a beautiful setup, not quite on target.
Once again, the ball falls in front of the net. No shot coming through. Living on the razor's edge still is Dominguez Hills, but I like the offensive temps here coming from Fresno State. They're using the sidewall and the backboard effectively. They just need to create second, third opportunities. Minty Fresh creating one of his own there. Overseas credit with a save and a savior medal here to keep us deadlocked as we reach halftime.
A lot of these midfield races, a lot of the midfield contests here are just coming up a little bit short for both teams. That demo from Dark Eco might open things up, but you've got to break past the 50-50 first. Another 50, this
That's
time
so
going
long.
very in the favor of Fresno, but popped away by BB Mac. What a miracle save.
I mean, it was just a great job of getting it when it was water falling towards the net. A dangerous touch once again. Calculated, I'll
wacky.
say. This has been an interesting game. Con Beret, that shot's on. Overseas can't get there. You see the power shots, you see the finesse shots. He got the little iron out and just chips it and it drops in.
You know, you force the first save, you don't got to get power on the second shot. All you got to get is placement. That's what you got right there. Little chip shot, a little bit of a tipper-topper over the head, and that's going to put Dominguez Hills on the board. Let's see if they can hold on to it, though. Minty Fresh trying to be that offensive powerhouse, but having to fall back for boost, looking for the 50 with Overseas, instead getting burned in the downfield play. But Ganbear standing tall out to Minty Fresh, and this is where that player shines. Not going to be enough there to put any juice on the ball with that angle. Downfield, Junior looking for a connection. Off the backboard, out to Dark Eco, but there's just nothing there. Broken up by Ganbear, and Overseas has to slow it down, get it out to Dark Eco. They're going to look for some kind of connection here as Overseas pops this in towards midfield.
Oh, what a touch. That could be a shot on here, but no one collapses. Junior, the third player, was a little bit too far out. Minty Fresh playing just on the corner of that goalie's box, denying another opportunity here. Fresno State, BB Mac passed one, trying to control it here. Gets the boost, but forgot the ball. That's kind of an important thing, fella. Beret answering that call at midfield, but Overseas puts the pressure on. I think I saw that one before. They cleared it off the wall. They pushed it back. Junior touches it, but it's not on. That
The
doesn't go
goalpost.
in. They beat three and couldn't beat the post.
Man, this has just been the story of these games, though. It's low-scoring endeavors, and when you get the opportunities, it just goes barely wide. Minty Fresh trying to get up in the air. Man, I'm starting to see the personality out of Dominguez Hills in the way they like to play, but personality ain't gonna be enough when Dark Eco comes in to slam the ball forward.
I'll be honest, I thought he was sitting at the row 17, but it just clips the crossbar and bounces back in. Calculated, I'll say. Puts that one, a lot of touch on that one, and buries it, tying this game up. And as I was saying earlier about Cardinal, is sometimes it's really hard to get that first goal. Now both of these teams gotten their feet wet, and so you wonder who will break this tie. As Overseas tried to do that just now, making Minty make a heroic save, not keeping that one out. Junior's
They
there,
got
though.
more on they got more juice. Overseas, oh, that's a bad pop. Be able to do anything with this, though. Still trying to hold the scrum, even without the boost. Dark Eco whiffing that. Oh, that's a tough situation for Junior. He's in a 2-on-1. They try and flick it around him, but he stands tall in the net. Sends it back downfield. And Junior going to try to get this silver goal. Break it away from overtime, but it's looking pretty rough. I think we've got an OT situation.
Staring down the barrel of a loaded gun stage on your own goal line. 4 to 5 seconds left with a demo hunting you. And somehow this game isn't over. It's an overtime. So Fresno State living vicariously there on the defensive side. Minty Fresh in control for a minute, but Overseas denying that one as he dropped the ball. Now it's in the corner. Overseas, not a lot of room. He's got to put it on. The ball bounces down. I think that's an own goal. Ego credited with that one.
It wasn't quite an own goal, but it was a case where you couldn't get enough of an angle to get it away. Once again, BB Mac just right in the face of tragedy as Fresno sneaking their second game win as we go into game 4 with a score of 2-1.
It would have been an own goal. Minty dove. That was going to be a goal no matter what. That was wild, but somehow Fresno plays enough defense to play offense. A pair of goals coming off of Dark Echo, an assist coming from both of his teammates. I mean, I'll be honest, it's wonderful play from the team, and that is huge. Able to find an answer here after that game 2 loss where you didn't know maybe the legs wouldn't be there. But now that they are sitting at 2-1, scoreline of that last game and now the series.
Man. I tell you what, though, I was talking about how I'm starting to see some personality at Dominguez Hills, and, like, I'm seeing actually, like, really defined styles and habits from these players after 3 games.
Which
So,
scene?
Minty Fresh, this guy likes going up. He's trying to, like, really pop for these off the pass
Alright.
from the rest of his team. But BB Mac, I want to talk about BB Mac for a second, because every time there's a ball in midfield and he's near it, he's looking for a pinch. He wants to find, like, that is just, he is hunting the same way some players hunt for demos.
Looking for the pinch.
And it's just never quite coming out. He wants to get this momentum and wants to get these, like, really cool moves that you sometimes see.
Pace.
But it's not there. He hasn't landed one yet, and I want to see it. I want to see the effort pay off.
It's almost getting there, Stage. Building to that crescendo of speed and of 50s, right? It's going to happen at one of these times, And so here we are at Game 4, folks. Series point here for Fresno State Maroon. Dominguez Hills needs to win this one to force Game 5. And I'll be honest, it's been a hard-fought one the entire way. I think 2 goals in Game 2, but both Game 1 and 3 were only a single goal apart, and it could have gone either way with an overtime one there. Eco and company just kind of stalling here at midfield, and once again, a very timid start from both of these sides.
Overseas trying to find a way to center this one. That's a really good touch, but a double commit from defense is going to knock that one away. Junior trying to break around, but just getting bodied out of the way. Dominguez Hills not going to be able to find the opening just yet. A little bit of a standoff in midfield. Dark Eco steals it away, but broken up by Minty Fresh, and Minty Fresh looking for a continuation, but Ganbear's there! Off the backboard! Just tipped over! Ooh, what a breakaway. Not enough to score yet. BB Mac trying to say something about that. Centered by Mini Fresh. No one is there to follow up on that one, and we might finally see Fresno get the clear in the first minute.
Fresno, please, I was taking a drink to try and get something. You can't do theatrics like that on your goal line. But my hands are on my head. And once again, Stage, I'll be honest, I'm at a stage in this series where I'm going, I don't know how there isn't a goal on the board. But both teams are happy because of it. Could have gone either way with all 3 players being up on DH's side, whereas FSU could have had that long clear and pushed the pressure on. But FSU, once again, living on their goal line. Not giving much there. Overseas has to race back here. He needs to be careful. That one could be dangerous and gets enough of a touch and credited with the save.
Junior trying to pop this one out, but broken up again. There's that double commit. Oh! Minty Fresh bulldozing through into the corner.
I mean, there's no other place to say that. I mean, that is Echo doing everything that he can, and that ball was glued to the corner and coming out, but Minty sticks that Fennec right beside it and forces it into that corner to keep it in. It's once again a 1-goal lead here for Dominguez Hills.
You know, Foof, if I didn't know any better, I would almost say this was staged with how this is coming down to the wire.
Well, it's only been casted by Stage, so maybe, NECC confirmed, question mark, but right now a double commit is not what you want to see on the side of FSU. Ball bouncing out at midfield. Junior in the corner has the, I don't know where that player was going, Minty. A little bit of faked out on that one. Junior collects the ball, has the boost, trying to keep it high here. Doesn't get a lot of air on that Octane, and the ball back on this blue half.
Rotating back, giving so much room. Minty Fresh gets a nice little pop, but Junior standing in the net. BB Mac looking for a center ball. Not quite able to get the angles they're looking for. Overseas, there's that dump and chase start up again, and back on the volleyball with Minty Fresh. Trying to chase this one down, popped out to center. Ganbear! Saved by Overseas. BB Mac still looking for it.
I'm gonna keep fighting you, Stage, don't worry. They're pressing it really hard. Both of us are leaning forward here because we know the offensive opportunities are beginning to mount, and FSU needs to break out. As Eco able to control that one. Now gets sent for his trouble, so Minty says no, the offensive onslaught continues.
Oh, they almost managed to widen that gap a little bit with Minty Fresh, that continuous offensive powerhouse. They're still going to keep looking for this one too. Ganbear trying to set this one up. Has to play back on defense now. Past one more off the backboard. Overseas trying to push
That's
anyone away.
huge.
That's on target, and
It's
that
still
is the equalizer. I'm looking at your camera over there. You are absolutely losing your mind.
I'm speechless.
I'm going to paint a picture for you guys out there in the audience. Foof has his hands on his head. He is pulling his hair out. He's taking his headphones off. He's taking his shirt off. Please put that back on. There's just way too much action on the field right now.
A lot of confusion on my end. The bump was huge. That opened the door for the shot. Just discombobulated is what I can say happened on that post. It was probably a little bit more infected than what they thought it was. But that bump is huge. It ties the game up. Fresno State 1-1, and they get it here. Beret, though, denied by Eco, and that has been their mantra. Bend, but don't break. And they do it at the last possible point stage. They sit on their goal line and dare them to make a goal.
Hey, Gibbs ain't dead. He might be retired, but the spirit of Gibbs lives on. On the goal line, FSU is constantly able to just save victory from the jaws of defeat. Here they go, though. Overseas, looking to pass towards Ben. Pass to Eco, and it's on! 1 minute left, and they are 1 goal over top. They are that much closer to taking the match.
A beautiful job of using the flip off the sidewall to catch underneath of the ball and then not push it too far off of the backboard to lose your teammate, but far enough to drop it behind the defender. That is a heroic play coming out from Fabiana's crowd favorite overseas, and he wants another one off the backboard. The junior BB Max stalling that one into the tracks.
BB Mac, though, he's chasing this one forward. Minty Fresh wants it. Barely any boost in the tank, but that's not stopping them. BB Mac out the sidewall looking for Ganbear, who's just circling back, taking their time, a little bit of friendly fire, bumping away on the clear at least, and Minty Fresh now got the run up in towards center, but cleared away. Looking for the desperation plays now in the last 30 seconds. They need something to stay in this series, and they might find it here. Flick over top, just off the bar. Oh, no.
Well, right now, DH needs to find one more opportunity. You were talking about 30 seconds. They don't have to panic, but now you start to worry. Overseas, throwing it back out. Eco runs a little bit too far, but they're killing the clock. They don't care. The ball bounces down. There's no touch. That means there's no comeback and no win coming to Dominguez Hills. Fresno State winning possibly their second in a row.
Dominguez Hills, they have just been
It's 11-4.
close. They have been so close. They have so many shots on goal.
Yeah.
But like I said, the spirit of Gibbs lives on. The defense is impenetrable.
Steel
for
curtain,
Fresno.
apparently. 84 Bears. You know, they're just on everyone. You couldn't get it past them. I feel like the MVP of this game was both of the posts and the crossbar. Those three were unbeatable on Fresno's side.
Man, I don't know if I'm going to give the MVP there. That would be downplaying a lot of the offensive contributions from everybody on Fresno. Just how many times do you see them just rotating with such speed to keep the pressure on in this game? Even when they're on defense, they're still just keeping this flawless rotation.
Well, I'll be honest, in games 1 and 2, we didn't see that much, but they did exactly what a good team has to do. They stepped it up as the series went on. 3 and 4, you saw them get better, folks. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed in their offensive end, but it was enough. Yeah, 4 shots is not exactly the stat line you want, but you get 2 goals off it shooting 50. That's amazing in Rocket League numbers. If you shoot 50%, I think you're having a pretty dang good day as a team.
I mean, think of it like a pitcher, you know, if you're pitching, or if you're a batter. If you're batting 500, you're just absolutely insane. I'm sorry. If you got a 500 ERA, then if you have a 5 ERA, then you're doing terrible. You're doing absolutely terrible.
If you have a 500 ERA, that game's not over.
Well, I'm thinking like .500 ERA. You know, that's a good pitcher. But a 5 ERA, we got some problems.
Well, I'll be honest. We don't have any problems here. Stage as FSU advanced to get their second win. And once again, unfortunately, Dominguez Hills on stream and still on their hunt to find their first series win of the year. So now a hot, fun one for you. Can they get it? They got 2 weeks to do it, Stage, but I believe this is our last one of the night.
That is our last one of the night, and that might be the last opportunity that Dominguez Hills had to make playoffs. I do believe they are now mathematically eliminated. I might be wrong on that. We can find out in the future, but for now, that's all that we've got. So we will catch you guys next week on NECC Rocket League. Of course, you know, there's all kinds of esports on the NECC. Yeah, almost every single day of the week. I can't tell you the schedule off the top of my head, but I promise you, there is always some great action going on.
Well, I've been Foof. Stage brought us in. I think it's my turn to bring us out, so thank you for joining. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll be back with some more Rocket League next week.